go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very distinguished guest here in the studio tonight. And from time to time, he has been a bit controversial, and he has brought just a few things to drop upon our table tonight. And we're going to kind of let him have the mic and do what he wants. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Arnaldo Opperman.
The recession did not kill businesses, okay? Crappy people and crappy business kill businesses. And I've been saying this for a while. Yes, the recession did hurt a lot of us, blah, blah, blah. Let's get the crap out of the way. So here's what happens. Everybody talks about how crappy Comcast is, how crappy this company is, how crappy that company is. You know why? Because people in general suck with customer service. And this is either from big companies right down to small companies. I'll give you an example. Dealing with my credit card company, just a simple, the card got declined. It should not take an hour and 45 minutes. And this guy saying, no, I will not transfer you over. Yes, you will transfer me over to the supervisor. Now we bring that down to small businesses, dealing with DJs, photographers, coordinators, whatever the case is. How hard is it to pick up the phone? Look, you want to make some money in this business and not go bankrupt? You pick up the damn phone. You want to know why First Schools only actually made money in 2007 when everybody else was taking a dump? Because we actually picked up the phone. Because when somebody had a problem, we didn't say this: I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. If you tell me you're sorry for the inconvenience, I will come to your house, strangle your mom, your brother, everybody in your family. I don't want to hear it because you're not sorry, because you're not the CEO, because your pay is not affected. So when you're running a small business and somebody complains, the first thing you don't say is, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. You come up with a plan of attack of how you're going to make it better. If you don't have a plan of attack on how you're going to make it better, your business is going to fail. I know this because I drove those businesses out of business because they could not run a damn business. All right. Is that good? Is that ranty enough?
So that is his first sentence. That's what he's explaining what he's going to talk about. So now that you guys know his topic, he's now going to explain what he's talking about.
And Shaney, what would your remarks to that be?
How does it make you feel?
I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I just
felt like it was a boxing match. He put me up against the ropes.
I don't know.
And it was just like, I couldn't even duck. I mean, it was
I had like 9-1 dialed, and I was just waiting.
He's going crazy. He done gone crazy.
Going local. Okay, but let's be realistic here.
Nobody got time for that.
You know what? I did listen to everything that you said, and I'm being completely honest. I'm being honest right now. Shut up.
I'm not disagreeing because it would be really hard to listen to everything he said. So you did great.
I'm in Chicago. We talk fast, so I understand everything that he said.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Here's my thing. I understand what he's saying, and my whole thing about it is I really do hate people that just complain. And they sit there and and I'm just not even talking about in the DJ world. I'm talking about about everything. I call them negative Nancys, and they're always negative, and they never could find positive things to say or do. And I don't want to say they're a cancer, but to me, they're like a cancer. And and if he's talking about it like in the DJ world, instead of making a change for themselves, they sit there and they just talk about crap all the time. Well, and then I don't understand why this month I didn't have enough events, and and then I'm at the and the phone's not ringing, and this isn't happening, and I don't understand why it's not happening. Do something about it.
Exactly.
Be proactive. If that means you have to talk to somebody who's a mentor, if that means you got to do this, so it's I get what he's saying. So it's just be proactive about it. And if you just do one thing, and people think that they want to go from this level to this level. Everybody wants to try to do that. Guess what? That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So baby steps. If you start moving the baby steps, it's going to happen, but people don't want that. People want the shortcuts. And nowadays, it's the world, and people want the shortcuts, and it's not going to happen. There's no magic recipe. You could sit there and go to everybody's seminars and read everybody's books and watch everybody's DVDs, and they can help you, but they're not going to say, hey guys, stop watching the infomercials at 3 a.m. Okay, people? Honestly, those infomercials of, for the women, how to take the hair off, and for everybody else, how to lose the weight, and how to this and how to that. That shit don't work.
Take the hair off too, no.
Okay? It doesn't work. Okay? So stop buying all that stuff. Baby steps on how to do everything. Go to the seminars. Get the books, DVDs. Talk to the people. Just like he's saying, do something about it. Be proactive. No negative Nancy.
But going off on that, it's in this day and age of social media, you think people would learn how to be more social, and it's been the antithesis of that. No, it's like, the moment, and I'm going to say this without really pissing off half of the world here, but
Oh, what the hell? Let's get the other half
you
in
know what?
this.
Screw it. The moment, and I say this just knowing that a lot of them are my friends, but the moment that I call a business and I know that I get a call center, and when you're getting a call center because they try to make like they're fit in. My friend Sagar and I, we joke about this all the time because I can say it because he's Indian and he's a friend of mine. But he's like, they call you and they're like, how is the weather there? My name is Bob and I'm in Washington, D.C. No, you're not, Bob. And then it's like they transfer you back and forth, but there's nobody actually there. That's why, tying it to the DJ world. Why does a business like NLFX Pro do so well? Because you're not calling a call center. You're calling a real life human being, somebody that actually you can talk to. Everybody knows who Ben Stowe is. Ben should not be dealing with DJs. The man is like a super genius. He should be working in NASA doing some fancy crap like that. Instead, this guy's here actually answering even the tiniest of questions. What size LED is in this, bulb? I'm not saying that the CEO of a major corporation needs to be answering, small tiny things, but none of us are major corporations or, we wouldn't be DJs. Let's just really break it down. But it's almost like the Apple mentality. Apple is huge, but it doesn't matter whether you bought an iPhone or you bought their $10,000 Mac, you go in there and they're going to take care of you like you're the only customer for the most part. I know everybody has different experiences, but I just feel like in this day and age of social media, everybody, especially when everybody's talking about every business and it's really easy to just have a post blow up. I mean, look at Comcast, how many negative posts on Comcast there are. Everybody just completely forgot about customer service. And then another company comes in with better customer service who doesn't do call centers, who actually answers the phone. That's the most important thing. Answer the phone. And then the other business is like, why did we fail? Why did GM fail? General Motors failed because they suck. And Honda, Toyota, they were putting out better vehicles for a better price. General Motors is the company that in 1983 thought we should put aluminum cast block on an iron body or iron engine frame, whatever, heads. I can remember. And then they wonder why their engines kept blowing up and you had to replace the head gasket. Gee, I wonder why. They sucked and they went out of business. And that's how, what I see happening to DJ companies. And like you said, they're just sitting there being negative Nancy's, blaming everything else, blaming the economy, blaming gas. My favorite, not in my backyard. Look, I've been to the most podunk of areas and I've been to the nicest of areas. Damn burgers are still the same price if I go to McDonald's. Food is the same price for the most part. I can go to a really podunk area in Florida where electricity is this newfangled witchcraft and you're still going to spend $59 for some half-ass meal at Red Lobster. So I don't want to hear that not on my backyard stuff. It just comes down to customer service. If you don't have it, if you're not a person that can really click with people, you're not going to succeed in this business, especially in a business of, I don't know, where you're supposed to click with people for a living.
Yeah,
I would just like to read one quote.
The quote, yeah.
And the one quote from the chat room from Day and Night DJs, Arnaldo for president.
Going on the customer service.
Probably a bad idea.
Going on the customer service, it's like I do read in the chat rooms that, a lot of the DJs are like, well, I don't work past this hour and I don't answer emails and I do this and I do that. My whole thing is I get that, but if you're going to be on your phone and you're texting and this and that, and you get your emails to your phone and this and that, the first thing my clients say to me is, you know why we came to your company? Do you know why we came to you? Better than came in is quick responses, because you answered our questions, you got back to our emails, you returned my phone call right away, you did this, you did that. Customer service. Absolutely. And people need to think, like, people don't understand, just that one little thing, that one phone call, that one email might book that party for you. So was it really worth it to say, hey, at 5 o'clock, I don't answer any more emails for the rest of the day? I get that if you have family, you have other commitments, you have another job, you have this. We all have our issues. We all have other things. I get that. I have like 17 jobs. I get that too. But I still sit there and if I'm a hustler, baby. Trust me, I am a hustler. And there's no shame in my game. I'm a pimp and I am a hustler. Okay, so I I am. So, it's like, but I'll sit there and on my business email, if those emails come in, I'll be like, excuse me for a second, baby. You get your money, but I got to answer this email. And I would sit there and answer. And the client's like, oh my God, I didn't know you were going to be up this late. I am too. Thank you for answering me back. Please send the contract tomorrow. And I'm like, bam, done and done. So customer service is the key. It really, as much as we want to build our company and the other things that, I was talking about, those baby steps, customer service. I mean, it really is, he hit it right out of the ballpark, but you still have to do those baby steps. I always bring everything back to the sports reference, Michael Jordan. He, people think people like me, and I'm going to say it, think one of the greatest, one of the greatest, not just basketball players, but athletes in the world. He got cut from his high school basketball team.
That story has more depth than that.
Right. It's got more depth, but he sits there and he practices and practices and practices. And that's what we have to do. We have to figure out, what did we do wrong? Why aren't we doing this? Why, take a step back, figure out, this is what I have to do. Is it because I'm not answering my emails? Is it because when those phone calls are on my voicemail, I'm not returning them right away? I get it if we're working on the weekends and you don't want to return those phone calls. I get it. If you want to just start with returning the week phone calls, do what you have to do and see if you book one extra event. And if you do, you're on the right track.
There's two things.
I'd like to point out that this is the exact opposite of the talk that John had on the pre-late show about 3 months ago. So there'd be a battle. Maybe we should have a battle royale, bring all those on saying that you shouldn't do that, and then this, and then me in the middle where I'm just like, y'all are just crazy.
You're all
pick
crazy.
up the phone when you want to. Don't pick up the phone when you don't want to. If it's 4 a.m, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, my cell phone is not, I have an office. So it's like
a real cell phone. That's good to know.
I have a real cell phone too, but somebody in the chat room just said, we all have smartphones. Most of us have smartphones. So we all have that capability of I know everybody's on Facebook and social media and Twitter and everything else. So I don't understand why people aren't getting their emails to their account. I have all my emails going to my phone. Yeah. And I only have notifications on for my business emails. I don't have it for my personal account or anything, but I do have it for my business emails. So I look and I see this is a business email. I'm going to check that. I won't do it while I'm having dinner or something, but an hour later isn't going to change it. 24 hours later, that's a big difference.
But you know what? That's one of the things that you said that a lot of people still haven't grasped. We all make the comments, and everybody knows that this is a right now mental state of society. We want an answer right now, and we're all guilty of it. I've emailed people.
On-demand community.
Yeah, I've sent an email, and then I'm like, if I don't get it back within a couple hours, I'm like, man, what the hell's taking so long? Yes, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but come on. But for the most part, there are people that are really that anxious, and they may have the expectation, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm not going to get an email till tomorrow. But if you're the first person to reply back that right then and there, you're probably going to wind up making that booking. And yeah, some people may say, well, I need time to spend with family and friends. You're going to have plenty of time to spend with family and friends when you're homeless from not getting enough gigs. So, really, that's how it is. It's
because you'll be staying at their home because you are homeless.
Well,
the thing that here's where I'm going to throw this in real quick, and then you guys can jump back in again. I've written a bunch of articles in the past about digital businesses and stuff, and I'm trying to turn it into a book. But that's one of the things that I talk about with the digital age. The stuff that you can do, and you can say, but I don't have time. How much time do you spend watching TV each day? Think about the family, because I dealt with this because I sat down with a whole DJ.
John gives me Candy Crush requests 3 times an hour.
I do.
Yeah.
And you never respond. I'm so bummed.
But it's stuff like that. In the digital age, you can handle stuff really quickly and instantly. Yep. And I have friends that go, oh, but I don't have time to sit down at the computer and answer emails. I don't have time to, why Facebook? Nobody talks to anybody on Facebook. Facebook's dead. And it's just like, these are people out there that really don't get it. Seriously, everything is done on the cell phones nowadays, and it all should come there. I have a friend, Eric, and I'm talking too much. I apologize, because I want you guys just to rant. But I swear, when I send him a text, the text goes to a person, they handwrite it down, drop it in the mail it to him. He gets it, writes it handwritten back to them, and then they text me back. And I just do not understand, why it takes someone an entire day to answer, are you going or not?
Yep. On the others, flipping the script we were just talking about bad customer service. Do you guys remember Crutchfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Way back in the 90s when you wanted a great sound system or an audio system, you go to Crutchfield. Have you used Crutchfield recently? Just buy anything from them. Here's why I say that.
I robbed the kid next door. He's great.
Well, I needed I was redoing my key. I wanted to put a different radio on there, and I actually didn't have the stuff that I needed. So I called Crutchfield. I'm like, hey, I'm looking at ordering this and this and this. And of course, they do their same thing where they help you make sure everything fits, and they send you all the little parts and everything you need, which is great. But one of the things that I loved is that at the end of everything, when I bought the radio and all that, then they mail me a thank you note, an actual handwritten thank you note. And in this day and age of everything being digital, I'm like, man, people still send thank you notes. And I'm like, this is clearly a marketing ploy. It was a damn good marketing ploy. And it was actually handwritten, everything else. So immediately after that, I told my DJs, hey, guess what we're doing? We're doing handwritten thank you notes after every single one of the events. And again, a few of the advisors caught on and was like, hey, good marketing tactic. I'm like, thank you. You called us, didn't you? She's like, yeah, well, actually, remember we wanted to book something else. So, that's really worked. So it's almost what everything's moving forward. One of the things one of the DJs asked me at NAM is why is lighting? Why is this? Why is everything going back in time as far as some of the old school effects? Okay. I feel like we should really take that approach with customer service. While everything else goes forward, let's take our customer service way back to before, there were emails. I'm not saying skip on emails or anything like that, because I'll be honest with you, I do most of my bookings via email. But every once in a while, a handwritten thank you note, a genuine, hey, just hope everything's good with you and yours. I call the Michael Scott mentality. Did you guys ever watch The Office? Mm-hmm. By any chance? Okay. Do you remember the one where he's going around giving gift baskets to people saying, I can prove to you gift baskets work? And right then and there, you notice, no, gift baskets don't work. People are wanting to gift baskets, but they still want the things that are cheaper. But if you rewatch those 3 episodes, one after the other, one of the things that he does is he remembers things about people. Oh, hey, how's your daughter? Hope she feels better from that illness. Does she ever recover? Whatever the case may be. And you watch the customer actually turn around. Then later on, the next couple episodes, they get those customers back because it's just something as simple as being genuine. And that's what my original rant is about. When I call these companies, hey, I'm having this problem. My cable company, Bright House, they're pretty much like Comcast, only Satan's cousin runs it. And they're like, I am so sorry for your problem. No, you're not sorry about my problem. So don't say you're sorry when you're not. What I want to hear is, okay, I see that you have a problem. This is what we're going to do to fix it. I don't want to hear fake apologies unless you genuinely mean it. And unless you are somebody higher up, you don't genuinely mean that apology because you're reading it from a book.
I can tell that's 100% true. I'll drop another quick one in here. When I used to tour and stuff DJing, my booking agent was still to this day, I've learned so much from him that every show you got booked on, whether it be a festival or small one, you gave the guy who hired you a written thank you note and a T-shirt, because how many times is he going to get up one day, put the T-shirt on and go, oh man, I got that next festival coming up. I should book him. So written note and the T-shirt, and I'm telling you, it works to get you clients repetitively.
People love T-shirts.
Yeah, Mondays after the weekend, our office manager sends handwritten notes to the weekend clients, thanking them, and puts everybody who was on the staff, puts all the names in there so they remember all the staff, hopefully to book us again. And for our mitzvahs, we give our mitzvah kid at the party right at the very end, we give him a T-shirt. Our company name is called Mobile Music, and the shirt says, I got rocked by Mobile Music. And we give him a T-shirt, and we do it like in a way like, oh, this is from all of us to you, and like a little thing. So like whenever he wears it, he's wearing it, and it's good PR for us. And school parties, we do, PR and stuff like that. But definitely just those little things, it's those little old school things that goes a long way. And, in this age of digital and new age and everything, that stuff's great for the emails and the text messages. I know like somebody on the chat said, well, my client only emails and text messages. And I get that. I have a lot of clients that, are doctors and lawyers and stuff like that, and they can't talk during the day, or they don't, and they're like, well, at night I have my families and I have this, and my son's in basketball and my daughter has dance and I have this. And that's like, great. Well, once we figure out, the date of your event and this and that, let's figure out an evening that you could bring everybody to the office. We'll keep the kids busy and they can play some video games in the other room, or we'll keep them busy and everything.
Well, there goes the groom.
And we right. Oh yeah, that's happened too. Oh no, that's happened too. But sometimes it's good. Sometimes the bride we get those brides that just want to take over. So or the groups that are just like, hey, whatever she wants, whatever. Just make sure you play some heavy metal for me, and I'm good, stuff like that. But it's like we kind of make it. We cater to them. That's the thing. Like I want to cater to my clients and make it so you want to come to the office, and we'll make it an environment so you could bring everybody if you have to. And, we'll make sure it's a comfortable environment for all of them. And that way we'll say, we can only meet at night. Of course, we only do appointments at night. I wouldn't expect you to come at 2 p.m. when you're at work. I'm at work too, so I wouldn't expect that. So if you at 8, and I know people are like, I wouldn't do an 8 o'clock meeting. Well, guess what? I had 4 meetings today, and I booked them all because they were all at night when people had families and they had to pick up their kids, and they had this. So
tell the other DJs you'll have plenty of time for friends and family when you're living in a van down by the
river. Okay, guys, we need to wrap it up. It is almost 9 o'clock, and we don't want. Yeah, it is. It's almost. Well, it's actually almost 10 o'clock your time, MJ.
We haven't even heard you rant yet. Are you gonna rant? Are you gonna rant about the cost of goat cheese up there in the middle of?
He's too close to Canada.
I think John should be the final word.
The final word.
All right. John does final word.
Yeah.
The final word. The final word tonight. Well, I think you wanted it to be about the show. I think this whole concept is going to be an interesting concept because you're going to have people talking and over it in the whole rant thing. The interesting thing, and this is if you notice, our chat room was like right with you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
we love it.
I've seen
we love it. We love it. That's
there
great.
is a section of the show that they will be participating with us.
Yep.
I'm telling you that right now. There is a section of the show where I want them to be participating with us. They literally have to answer the questions that you guys are going to have to answer.
People want to hear people complain.
Well, that really wasn't what you guys did. You actually, now, if you sit back and listen to tonight's show, you guys actually did put together a very useful and beneficial show because you talked about the lack of customer service, and then you guys kind of turned around and gave some solutions to customer service. So, unbeknownst to you guys, it sounded like a rant, but it was actually a pretty decent little seminar. But I'm not going to go there and say it from that side because that sounds intellectual, and MJ will say that's not what we were after. We were after just mindless, going.
Yeah, I was busting him earlier today on that. No, I don't want it to be anything like that.
No education whatsoever. Well,
okay,
sorry.
I'd be like, look, okay, people, now look what I'm about to say to you all. You want me to be like that?
Literally in the message, I think I put 7 or 8 no's and then sent that to him. No. But also, real quick, I just want to say we have someone in Hawaii checking us out. So cool, Hawaii.
Sweet.
Arnold, you're looking for a reason to take that shirt off. I'm just saying that. All right, gang, we're going to wrap it up. Next week, the after hours will be in session. We'll have our early show for the moms and pops, and then after they have to go to bed, then you guys will get the floor for the rest of the night.
The topic will be Canada. Is it America's hat?
No, it's the other America. Canada is the other America.
Canada, did you know that also is part of America? Because America isn't America. It's called the United States of America. Learn geography, people.
2 rants for the price of 1.
But the only thing you got to admit that their bacon is shaped very well for making, throwing on a hamburger as opposed to the long strips. That's the only thing I got to say. Round bacon works well on a sandwich.
I'll leave you with this about Canada. How many people kind of actually do like Justin Bieber now? Be honest. A little bit.
Act like him?
No, some people kind of like him right now with the music. A little bit. I know you do.
You know what?
Deep down inside, some of you DJs in the chat room, I know you like him a little bit now with some of the music.
I respect Bieber.
Don't lie, DJs in the chat room. I know you do a little bit now. You're believers now. I know you are now with some of the music out right now.
I respected the Biebs after the Comedy Central roast when he realized that he caught himself before his career went completely downhill. The man is an intelligent businessman. I don't care for his music. You know what? As long as people are dancing and not requesting Lil Wayne or Future with his then go Bieb.
Fetty Wap.
All right.
I can stand Fetty Wap, but not
John.
I think, yeah.
John, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for watching. This is the early edition of the After Hours show. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Donkey News.
I'm dabbing.